In this vid, we're going to be making a sign-up form with a Replit database. So what is Replit? If you guys haven't heard of Replit, Replit is an app online that's basically an IDE for any language, or at least the popular ones. And basically, this app allows you to connect to their database so you can use their database for a number of tasks. This database, I'm pretty sure, is only available to Python and I think Java. But anyways, we're going to be using Python in this vid, so that's great. Basically, if you haven't got an account on Replit, it's free. You can just go to replit.com and sign up. I already have an account, and as I said, it is free, but you can get the version of Hacker that you don't actually need for this vid. This is not a paid promotion. I just thought Replit is cool, and I just wanted to share this with you because I have been trying to make this for a long time. I haven't gotten the chance to connect it with the database. So I thought that was really cool in this vid. Also, in the future vid, we will be making a sign-in form, which is basically the opposite of this sign-up form. It will be getting the values in the sign-in form, and it will be basically getting the data for wherever you're going to go in the app. Right now, we're not going to really do much with the app, but I do want to show you how it works. So right now, basically, this is just a new project I've created in Replit, and I will show you the link to this if you'd like to see it. So yeah, let's get started. Right now, what it's doing is it's basically just uploading the packages just so we can get started. And for now, just show you how this works. So basically, you can check your files here. You can add a new file and take it away. You can also control your project in GitHub. So if you already have an existing Git repository, this is just a debugger. It already works. You don't really need to worry about that. And this is where you're going to install packages. It also has a shell, so if you just want to install manually from here, but this just makes it much easier, so you can just search the package. Right now, we're not going to need any packages for this project, as tkinter and Replit are already libraries here. But for example, if I want to install NumPy, you can say just search it up, and I can just add it, right? So here, these are just some secrets that we want to put, just like in GitHub. Don't really worry about that. So now settings, yeah, we don't need to look at that. And this is really important. This is our database. We can have up to 500 KBs of storage in each project for the free version. Right now, I only have 3 keys, and it kind of shows you how this works. So we'll be going off of this for the tutorial. Let's get started. So basically, you can see you enter username and password. And for example, I could say like magnitudo, and I can say like .ml. And if I sign up, it just prints out things for signing up. Now I already have an account. I can sign in here, and I can sign in. So what was it? Magnitudo. And then it should create a new storage here. So you can see it used to be, I think, 0.3 and 2 keys. Now it's 0.4 and 3 keys. The reason for this is each value you have is 0.1 KBs. KBs. So basically, a key would just be it's kind of like this username. That would be the key in this case. And we can put as many values as we want for that key. So you can see here I put a list, and whatever the value is, or no, the key is what your username, and the value is your password, and it also has a point system. You can put anything you want here. Let's say you have a field for email address, you can also just put that there. I'm probably going to do that in this tutorial, but basically that's the data that you can store. Now, I think that's about it. But anyways, once you put it, it just like gets the values. So magnitudo and then .ml. And you can see, oh, sorry, count wasn't found. Did I type it wrong? Here, wait. I put magnitudo there. Not magnitudo, so that's what happened. Magnitudo.ml. And then you can see I sign in, and it says thanks, y'all signed in. So it gets the value, and now it's stored in a variable. So we can do whatever we want after this. Maybe you have like a blog, or maybe you have an app that you want to link it to. But anything, there's endless possibilities. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is just create a new REPL and make it a Python. We can call this just sign form. We got a bit of code, so may just be pausing for a second just to drink some water, just in case that happens. All right, so basically what we want to do is import our packages. Now, what we have to do is both of these are already libraries, right? So we don't have to install anything. Replit, the Replit database we can install just by saying from Replit import db. Now our tkinter, to import it, you can just say from tkinter import. Oh, some of you guys are used to putting import tkinter as tk. I like line 3 better because it imports all the modules, so I don't have to keep like saying tk dot before everything. So we're just gonna work with this right now. First thing we want to do is create our screen. I just want to remind you before we start the video that you do need Python and tkinter knowledge to start this video. If you guys have no clue about Replit, that's alright. I'll explain it along the way. So let's create our screen. And how we do this is screen equals main tk, and this is just our main window. So we're gonna start off with our sign up. We can put some attributes to it, like our title, as well as our geometry. And I'm typing really fast, so just feel free to pause the video if you need to look over something. But I think these are pretty basic commands in tkinter. Now we want to config it. This will allow us to put a background color. Some of you guys may not know what this is. So basically, this is just config is just basically styling something, and we can put a background color here. So the demo that I just showed you was a blue and yellow color pattern, right? I think I just showed you that. So for this, we're going to use my main magnitudo pattern color, which is gray and black. So I mean, obviously you can change the color here, but it's mainly gray and black, and it's also for my other apps. So I just want to test it out here because maybe will replace my old sign-in form for this one if I can figure out how to do that. So we can put this black. All right, so hope you got this. So we're just creating our screen, creating our title, creating our geometry. Let's run this project. Let's see how it works. It's just taking some time. So for now, we can just move on before it starts. So basically, let's style it now. So we'll say widgets here. All right, so that's what all our things that we put on our screen are called. All right, so right now we're gonna just work with the most basic form of widgets in tkinter, and these are buttons, labels, and entries. That's about it. So no, that's not how you spell entries. Entries. So basically, I hope you guys all know what these are. If you guys don't, you guys can check out my tkinter video. They cover all of these widgets. But if you already have watched that video, or if you already know, then that's great. We can just get started. So you can see we have our screen. And also we can maximize it and minimize it if we'd like. Okay. So let's get started. Name, but alright, that's right. So the first thing we want to do is probably put like a label on the top that says like sign up. So we can just say label and then have some text. Just like that. So we just want to pack it in there. And you can see we have this label right there. And I do probably want to style that a bit, so I'm probably going to add some font to this as well as text size. I always usually use Impact if you've watched any of my Tinker videos. I don't know why, I just like the font. And we'll try 25 right now, see how that goes. I mean, I think that's pretty good. And I think we could make it a little better for the background, so I want this to be gray. It might just stay the same though. Yeah, I think it's a bit better here. All right, now we can copy this and edit it down. And this isn't the best you can do. I know you guys can style it however you like. I just want to get the form out there so I can actually explain the database, because I think that's more important, right? Though I will have some edits maybe later in my final product. I might edit it after this video, but this is just the main thing. All of these things are going to be in this tutorial. Not all of these things. I know I keep using things. All of this code, the correct code is going to be in this vid, but I will maybe edit it a little after and just send you the link to that code. Okay, and we'll just call this username. And this wouldn't, yeah, that would be good. And we'll probably want to maybe make this like a 10. And we probably want to put this a bit down, so we'll actually place it. The problem with placing is if we want to adjust the size of the screen, it'll look weird. So I'm probably going to do a different color, something like that. Or I mean, for now, I'm probably just going to make this. I'll take this off because of our color choices. And just make this a bit bigger. Because we already have the sign up like title, so I don't think we need that. And we can just make this a 20. I think that's good. Now we can create our button, or I mean our entry. We can call this username equals entry because we want to get this value later. And if you don't pack it this way on the next line, it'll say that it's a non-type. So that's why you just need to pack it this way. And I'll show you what I mean later. I think that's pretty good, right? So we have that. And we probably don't need this background gray, I guess. I think we're good with that. Yeah. So now we can just copy and paste this once more for our password. Right. So our text can just, oh, we don't need text here, right? We're good with that. So yeah, I think we got our base plate for this. And finally, we just need a button. So let me just change this to password. Password here. Password, okay. So run this and see how this looks. What happened? No. Simple Python mistake. I know I'm going kind of fast, so I just want to go back and show you everything. So we have our label, we have our username, We're just packing it, and I think these are pretty simple steps. I know when I'm watching some YouTube videos, I kind of feel rushed when they're typing like how they're coding, so I don't want that to happen. But you guys can really style this however you like, and yeah, so it doesn't really matter how this basically looks as long as you have an entry. You don't need any of these stylings, because you can just do that later. I do want to remind you that I am going to put all this code in the chat. Not in the chat, sorry, in the description for the Replit repository. And so if you guys maybe have an error that you need to fix, you can just go there and try to figure it out, or not try to figure it out, and like just copy the correct code. Though most of these things are pretty straightforward to Python, and just probably the main error that you might run into is the known type error, where you don't pack it like this. So yeah, I'll give you some time to get this if you haven't already. But yeah, I think it's not that complicated yet. All right, so let's get started with our last line of code for our widgets, and this would just be a simple button, and just pack it in there. And probably want some text, so or we can just actually copy this because it has some pretty good styling. Sign up. So we just want to make this text sign up, and I think we're good. Okay, perfect. I think it looks pretty nice. And now let's make a command. So basically, if you guys haven't heard of this command or kind of forgot, this command is just going to, when you click it, it's going to do something. And this should be a function. So you can just call it like sign up. That's what the function name could be, right? And you do not need our parentheses. So now all we have to do is create our sign up function so it doesn't throw us an error. And inside here is our actual Replit work. So you can see we can enter some things and sign up. All right, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to get the username and get the password. All right, so we want to get the value inside the text box because we're going to be writing this value into the database. So for our username, we can just call user equals username dot get, and this dot get will be getting the value inside there. So same thing for this password dot get equals, we can just say p. Now what we want to do is we want to write this to the database. So we can see here it actually shows us how to do this. So set a key to a value. So we can just insert this, right? It's not that much code. So it's just saying DB, the database, right, is just what key is equal to what value, right? So pretty simple. Our key is user and our value is password. All right, so that is actually put the value inside, and then we can just print. Run this, print off, sign up, done. Now if we look in our database, it should add a key sometime soon. So right here, I think it just changed now. So let's just reload our screen and see. You can see it has 1 KB and 1 key. So we can actually print this key out just so we know. And how we do this is we can just print out all our keys if we want, really. keys, and we can see DB is not. Oh, I have to put this below. And we can see we have Pranav here, so that's great. Now, I think that's about it, but I want to do one last thing. Right now, we don't really have any value that we're storing. So let's actually store, let's say, two values. One is how many dollars are in the account, and the other is what your email actually is. So we can create a new label, an entry, sorry about that, a new label and entry that we can enter so we can store it there. That's pretty simple. We can just copy this code here and do this again. So email, and how do we validate this? I'm pretty sure there is a module in Python that allows us to validate this, but I don't know it on the top of my head. So for now, we're just going to do a simple validation just with some if statements. But there is a module that actually checks in Google's database, open source. So I'm just going to call it email or email and email. All right, so now what we can do is we can just get this as e, so e equals email.get. Now, basically, before we do any of this, we want to say we want to put all of this in an if statement. So just like that. Right. In this if statement, we'll just check if it has an at. So if, or I'll put all of this before. So if, Python is a big part in indenting. You need to make sure to get that. So if e, or if at, right now we'll just say gmail.com. But you can change it later once we find our API. I'll probably do that in like a part 2 of this, maybe. In E, then we can do this. So, and basically now we want to store all these values. So our first value will be our password. Our second value will be in the list, right? So our second value will be the dollars, and the third value will be our email. So just like that. So if we run, and you'll see that we'll have multiple keys, right? So instead of just having an extra 2K 0.02 and 2 keys, we'll have 2 keys and 0.03 or 0.04. So one psi1 and at gmail.com. Actually, I might want to make this text smaller, but I think that's all right for now. Sign up, done. Now we can see we have 5 keys. 5 is 0.05 keys. I predicted it wrong. It's plus 4. So that's pretty good, right? How that works. One last take it into edit. Before we're done is we probably, instead of just printing done, we might want to actually have something on the screen that says like you're all signed up. So I will do that. Basically what we want is all we want to do is just have a label that basically you can't see, but it says that we are all done, or like you're signed up, so you're all, or like things are signed up. no, yeah, sign up, right? And we'll make this in yellow because yellow is like a bright, nice color. Except right now you can't see it because the background color and the foreground color are both black in that, or actually just the foreground right now. And then again, we shouldn't be able to see it. And right now I'm going to show you this error. So if we do not pack it the correct way, call this A, then if we just pack it like this, I'll show you this error. So right now when you run it, oh, you shouldn't be able to see this. Oh, I have to make the background color too. All right, and this should go below this. Okay, so you can't see it, but it is there. And now what we can do is we can just, instead of printing done, we can just config this. So a.config, and instead we'll just change the foreground color to gray or yellow. All right, so I don't want to take up too much space in this database in case I forget. So I'm just going to delete that key so we can just use it again. Oh, DB isn't defined right. Keep making that mistake. All right. DB. Oh yeah, that was from last time. And then print off. All right. Go to our database, and you can see 00 keys. Now, let's use this program again. So, I mean, obviously, I think you have like 5,000 keys that you can have here. But still. So Pranav, Sai, and we get an error. And this is what I'm talking about. Attribute error. Known type object has no attribute config. Now this is because we haven't packed it properly. If we have a label and we're trying to access data from it, we cannot pack it in the same row, and we just have to fix the error by packing it in a different row. Just so. To be honest, I almost totally forgot about what I just did. So, whatever. Okay. Finally. Alright, so we have Pranav, Sai, Pranav, @gmail.com. Sign up, and it just says thanks for signing up. So, that's how it works. Thanks for watching. And just want to show you one last thing. It's no more code, just showing you how to access it. So basically, if you want to get a key's value, we can just say db equals keyword. Wait, no, that's not how it works. Okay, yeah, value equals db key Pranav. And also, since the list, we have to put the list after. So let's say you wanted to get my email. We just put a 2 here because the list starts at 0, and you can say choose print my email. Oh, wait, I forgot to print it. Alright, so you can see it prints out my email. If you want to get how many dollars you have in the account, that's 1. And see, it's 0 because we put the value 0 there. And if you want to see my password, we can just put 0. Alright, so that's it for this vid. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.